guys. Hello guys, can I have your attention please? If you can get a seat, get yourself seated down, and then we'll start proceedings. Firstly, thank you very much to our Joy Morrisey MP for Beaconsfield. We really appreciate the support that your officers provided us, and for hosting this event for International Women's Day in Parliament. My name is Param, and I'm the founder and co-chairman for City Sikhs, and on behalf of both City Hindus and City Sikhs, we would like to welcome you to our first ever event to mark International Women's Day, called Inspirational Journeys of Women Shaping Careers, Business and Society. We run a number of DEI events in Parliament throughout the year, and last year we ran various events, and we were delighted that our DEI series was recognised at the Faith and Belief Community Awards, and also the World Economic Forum Faith in Action Report, unveiled in Davos in January 2024. And as a result, this will be the first in a series of events that we look to run this year too. City Hindus and City Sikhs are the largest network of Hindu and Sikh professionals in Europe, and we do a range of different events throughout the year. So if you'd like to know more about our other events, you can join our mailing list via our website or follow us on our social media channels. I'd also like to give a thanks to the Association of Asian Women Lawyers, who have partnered with us for this event, and we have the chair for that network here with us on the panel. We received a very positive response from attendees attending our parliamentary events on social media last year, and so we very much encourage sharing your experiences of this event on social media too, and you're welcome to tag City Hindus, City Sikhs, Alpesh, myself, the panelists, and Joy on LinkedIn or Twitter, and we can retweet, like, and share. I would also like to give a big thanks to Asset Management CEO and Chairman for the City Hindu Network, Alpesh Patel OBE, and also Ekdam Patel, who is the Global Head of Venture Capital at the Department for International Trade, and also part of the City Hindu Network's team. Without them, this event series would not exist. So the format for today will be around a 20-minute discussion with our panelists, who you will be learning more about shortly. We will then come to Joy, if she is in the room at the time, and Alpesh for questions and commentary on what they have heard so far from the panelists. And then we'll move into an interactive Q&A with everyone here for the remainder of the event. We also want to leave around 15 minutes time for networking with our panelists, so you can meet our panelists in person and ask them any questions. And so we'll try and keep the FAQs as to time, basically. So with all that said, let's meet our panelists. Let's give them a round of applause first, please. Hanisha, since completing your pupillage at a leading criminal set of chambers, you built a strong reputation in the area of child and family law, with expertise in forced marriage-related cases, and have been instructed on behalf of the police, local authorities, and applicants themselves. You also represent the legal profession in a number of ways, including as a judge at the True Honour Awards and as a chair of the Association of Asian Women Lawyers, who we're delighted to do another event after so many years. What's inspired your journey in law, particularly in this specialised field? And what key insights have propelled your success as a respected practitioner and leader?
Thanks, Param. Thank you for inviting me to join your panel today. I think the best way to answer those questions are to take them individually. So first, I'd like to start by addressing what's inspired my journey into law generally. So since a young age, I've always wanted to do something that makes a difference, something that helps people, as cliched as it might sound. And I was never really one that would put myself forward for debating or mooting, but I knew that the courtroom drama, I love drama, the courtroom drama, the wig and the gown, the performance every day, that's what really attracted me to the profession. And back then, when I've been called to the bar over 20 years now, so back then I didn't have any legal contacts in my network, my family didn't have any contacts at all, but my dad had recently completed a transaction on a property, so he asked his property solicitor, would you mind if my 15-year-old daughter goes along? I can honestly say, and no disrespect to any property solicitors out there, it was the most incredibly boring experience of my entire life. And I thought, good God, how am I going to do this if this is what law really involves? But then he offered me the opportunity to go and shadow one of his barrister contacts, who was a criminal barrister. And that's when life changed. I thought, wow, she was just incredible. She was inspirational. I watched her, I thought, wow, that's what I want to do. But I realised that in order to do that, I needed to up my game, and I needed to put myself forward for public speaking, for debating, for mooting, all those things that I would kind of shy away from. So I signed up for public speaking classes, I entered lots of debating competitions, so I went full circle and I went out of my comfort zone and pushed myself forward. And I also knew that to get legal work experience wasn't going to be easy because, as I already said, we didn't have any connections in the legal field. So I started thinking outside the box. I applied to the local court's witness service, supporting witnesses who had never given evidence before, literally hand-holding them, saying, you know, it's going to be okay, it's not going to be that difficult. And I also volunteered at the local prison, well, not the local prison, it was Holloway Prison, but they had a first night in custody project, which was basically helping women, vulnerable women who had never been in prison before. So I saw firsthand that the little support I was able to offer made a huge impact and a huge difference on these people's lives. And whether it was women in domestic abuse cases giving evidence against their partners, or whether it was vulnerable women experiencing prison life for the first time, because often they were remanded in custody awaiting a trial that wasn't going to happen until months into the future. And those experiences led me to be successful when I applied for pupillage. I don't know how much all of you know, but pupillage is basically the training year for becoming a barrister, and I was successful in getting my pupillage at a leading criminal set of chambers, 18 Red Lion Court. And I think, Param, you then asked me what led me to go into children and family law. So I was prosecuting a nine-month criminal trial when I was pregnant with my firstborn, who is now 16. And I came back from maternity leave with him, and my now head of chambers said to me, why don't you consider doing children law? And I said, absolutely not, that's not what I'm interested in, because for me, I thought it was all divorce and finances, and I didn't really want to do divorce and finances and get involved with whether little Johnny goes to football practice or whether he's forced to go into contact with his dad. That side of family law didn't really appeal to me. But when I came back from my first parental leave, the forced marriage legislation was all very new. It was a very discreet piece of legislation. It was only, you know, a 10-page document, so it was quite easy to get to grips with that very quickly. And I became engrossed in this piece of law. I thought, in order to be able to help vulnerable victims, I would get involved in article writing. I got to know the two solicitors at the time who were in this area. I trained the police, I trained social workers, I trained the local authorities. So I basically got my name out there, and I made sure when people wanted a barrister to represent them in a forced marriage case, that barrister was me. And obviously the forced marriage cases all go to the family court. So I was essentially doing what I said I wasn't going to do, and I became a child and family law barrister, because a lot of these cases had care proceedings, because a lot of the victims were children themselves. So you're either in the court of protection representing vulnerable adults who have lost capacity, or you are dealing with children who have associated care proceedings. So then I became involved in physical abuse allegations against, as in parents who had been allegedly causing harm or injury to their child, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and also I do a lot of non-accidental injury cases. So a lot of baby shapes with extensive medical evidence. So that's answering that question, I hope, Param. And turning to the last of those points, what propelled my success, what supports me in my career. Firstly, I'm very lucky to have a very, very supportive husband, a very supportive sister who is here at the back there, so big shout out to her. I have a very supportive family who always encourage me and push me forward. Secondly, my set of chambers, I'm at 7 Bedford Row, I've been there for the last 16 years. Even though we're all self-employed, we are very supportive of one another. So everyone's always pushing everyone else forward. We have really supportive clerks, and I've had 3 children during my time there, and very, very supportive clerking throughout. I also have a great support network through the Association of Asian Women Lawyers, and networks such as City Sikhs and City Hindus. I think if you really make the most out of every opportunity is a networking one, and through people you meet other people. So, you don't know where your next work is coming from, or who you might meet, or where you might get to form connections, but I would really say just make the most of every opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Hanisha.